the 1st of July, NASA detected a mysterious object speeding toward Earth, and some actual bona fide experts think it might not be your typical space rock or maybe any kind.
The object, if it's technological, it would maneuver, or it would release some mini probes, and or it will broadcast some signal, or it will have some artificial lights.
When astronomers trained one of Earth's most advanced telescopes on a known interstellar visitor, they thought it would be routine. A faint glow, a blurry tail, maybe a bit of dust, standard data from a passing comet. But what they saw was anything but ordinary. 3E Atlas did not behave like a natural comet. Its tail did not fade or scatter. It sharpened, it brightened, it extended with unnatural precision, more like a controlled jet than the chaotic plume of a comet melting under the sun. This was impossible. Scientists could not explain it. They had expected a drifting, wobbling ice ball pushed by solar winds and planetary gravity, but Atlas moved with precision. Its trajectory was exact, almost calculated, as if it were guided. And then came the first shock. Its closest approach to Mars was calculated to be just 2.7 million kilometers. That is an astronomical needle's eye threading across cosmic distances. No comet, no interstellar object in history had ever behaved with such perfect accuracy. Even Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb admitted the phenomenon was unsettling. Interstellar objects are supposed to drift randomly through the void, shaped by billions of years of collisions and cosmic forces. Yet here was one that seemed to know exactly where it was going. The tale of 3E Atlas revealed even more mysteries. Normal comet tails are chaotic, messy streams of dust and ice blown by the sun. But Atlas' tail was different. It glowed like exhaust, clean, sharp, and deliberate. It grew stage by stage, like it was building itself intentionally, not melting randomly. Models of comet outgassing failed to explain it. The James Webb Space Telescope then detected a 350,000-kilometer plume of carbon dioxide erupting from the object, nearly the distance between Earth and the Moon. Yet this plume held together. It didn't dissipate in the solar wind like it should have. It was too large to be ordinary, yet too controlled to be natural. Scientists began whispering the unthinkable. What if this was not a comet? What if it was controlled? Even stranger, spectral analysis revealed the nucleus of Atlas was coated in nickel, in concentrations far beyond what occurs naturally. This was industrial-grade material, similar to what humans use in spacecraft. Metal designed to resist heat, maintain structure, and reflect sunlight. A comet with this composition should have been unstable, wobbling under stress, or breaking apart. Instead, Atlas rotated with perfect stability, completing a full spin every 26 hours, almost synchronized with Earth's rotation. And then, after passing closest to the sun, it adjusted its rotation slightly. A natural object does not adapt its spin in response to solar proximity. Machines do. Something inside Atlas was regulating, controlling, adjusting. The mysteries didn't stop there. As it moved past Earth and the sun, astronomers observed brightness spikes. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in exact 17-minute intervals. These were not random outgassing events. They were pulsed, precise, and seemingly designed to be noticed. Researchers at the SETI Institute noticed something chilling. The timing matched Earth's rotational and magnetic harmonics. It was as if Atlas knew we were observing it and was responding. Not with words, not with sound, but with light. A signal, a handshake, an acknowledgement. Something was trying to communicate, or test us. High-resolution imaging revealed spirals embedded in the tail. Unlike random comet dust, these spirals were clean, repeated, precise, and eerily mathematical. Astrophysicists compared the curves to golden spirals used in spacecraft propulsion, patterns found in nature, art, and even in humanity's first interstellar messages like Voyager's Golden Record. It was a signature, a claim. I am not random. I am designed. On the day Atlas reached its closest approach to Mars, Earth experienced a subtle electromagnetic disturbance. Magnetometers across Iceland, Chile, and Australia recorded identical waveforms within a 4-minute window. The signals were neither solar nor terrestrial. They resembled modulated pulses, like encrypted military communications, but ancient, never used in modern satellites. It was as if Atlas had captured Earth's background radiation, modified it, and bounced it back. A message hidden in plain sight, a cosmic mirror reflecting our own signals, amplified. Scientists had once called it a comet, a curiosity, an interstellar traveler. But the data told a different story. Every trajectory, every spiral, every pulse of light was deliberate. Every subtle adjustment was calculated. 3 Atlas was waiting, performing, observing. It was not lost. It was sent, aimed precisely at Earth, to see if we would notice. And we did. Every discovery raised new questions. Was a probe? A warning? A message? Something ancient, patient, and intelligent drifting silently across our solar system. Not only had humanity discovered it, but Atlas had responded. Every rotation, every flare, every helical tail spoke a language we are only beginning to understand. It wasn't just moving through space. It was alive in its own way, interacting with the environment, signaling, broadcasting. And the implications are staggering. We are not alone. Someone or something is out there, speaking in ways we can barely comprehend, testing our ability to recognize patterns, to see meaning in the chaos of the cosmos. As we watched as telescopes and satellites recorded every detail, the same terrifying thought grew louder. If this was a message, it meant someone understood us, someone had been paying attention, someone had calculated not just distances, but timing, motion, and observation from light years away. This interstellar visitor wasn't just passing by. It was an experiment, a signal, an awakening. And it wasn't finished yet. 3 Atlas reminded us that the universe is far stranger than we imagine. It is filled with objects that are not what they seem. It is filled with intelligence that may be patient, hidden, watching, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Every pulse, every spiral, every adjustment was intentional, a silent question echoing through the void. Are you paying attention? Are you ready to see? Are you listening? As the world watched, astronomers began to speculate. What if 3 Atlas wasn't merely a probe or a vehicle? What if it was a message, but not just to humanity, to something larger, something connected to the solar system itself? Every movement it made, every pulse of light suggested intelligence. Yet the intelligence wasn't obvious. It was subtle, patient, observing without revealing itself directly. It was as if the object were asking us to prove that we were capable of understanding. In a universe this vast, that is no small request. Observers noted the precision of its approach. Interstellar objects are supposed to wander unpredictably, carried by forces they cannot control. Yet Atlas moved with purpose. Its tail, its rotation, even the flares timed with Earth's magnetic field. Every detail hinted at deliberate planning. And when astronomers modeled its trajectory backward, they realized something even more shocking. This object didn't appear to be coming from deep space at random. Its path suggested it might have been waiting for this very moment. For centuries, perhaps millennia, it could have been drifting, hiding in the dark, lying in wait for a solar system ready to notice it. The James Webb Space Telescope revealed even more impossible details. The plume of carbon dioxide, stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers, behaved like nothing seen before. It maintained its shape, resisting solar pressure. The brightness of the plume increased in stages, almost like it was powering up or communicating. And then the metallic coating, industrial-grade nickel forming its core. Scientists could not reconcile this with any natural process. Nickel in such quantities should destabilize a comet's rotation. Yet Atlas spun like a perfectly engineered satellite. It was as if the object were built, reinforced, designed to last through extremes of heat, radiation, and the void of space. And then there was the spin. Most comets tumble erratically due to impacts and irregular surfaces. But Atlas rotated with near-perfect precision, aligning itself almost in sync with Earth's rotation. After perihelion, it made a slight adjustment, as though regulating an internal system. A comet cannot think. A comet cannot plan. But Atlas seemed to be observing, adjusting, responding. Every scientist who reviewed the data felt the same unease. This was not just a passing object. It was interacting with its environment, subtly, deliberately. The spikes in brightness were another mystery. They occurred in exact intervals, pulsing with mathematical precision. Not random, not chaotic, not accidental. SETI researchers noticed that these pulses mirrored Earth's own magnetic and rotational cycles. For a moment, the implications were almost impossible to grasp. The object seemed aware of our presence. It was responding to us, not verbally, not audibly, but through light, through movement, through energy, a silent handshake across the void. Then came the spirals in the tail. Not chaotic dust clouds, not erratic ice jets, but elegant, repeated helices stretching over hundreds of thousands of kilometers. The spirals matched the golden ratio seen in natural fractals and even in human technology, like spacecraft exhaust designs. It was as if Atlas was leaving a signature, a calling card, a pattern meant to be recognized. Every curve, every spiral, every pulse of energy screamed, I am not random. I am intentional. I am designed. The signals didn't stop there. When Atlas neared Mars, Earth's magnetosphere experienced subtle distortions. They were faint, yes, but measurable, recorded by observatories in multiple continents at the exact same moment. The waveform was unique, not solar, not terrestrial. It resembled a communication signal, a modulated pulse, ancient in its pattern, almost like someone had used our own signals against us, reflecting them back, enhanced. Voyager 1's interstellar readings faintly contained the same signature. It was as if Atlas had been watching humanity's broadcasts for decades, then decided to respond. This is when the scale of the discovery became undeniable. 3E Atlas was not a natural object. It was a sentient presence of some kind, or at least an artifact of intelligence. It moved, it responded, it communicated, and it waited. And perhaps most frighteningly, it wasn't finished. Every observation suggested there was more to uncover. Every measurement hinted that what humanity understood about interstellar travel, life, and intelligence might be incomplete. This object forced us to confront the truth. The universe is far stranger and more deliberate than we ever imagined. As astronomers continued monitoring, debates erupted across the scientific community. Was it extraterrestrial technology? A probe sent from a civilization so advanced it could engineer and propel a metal-laced object across light years of space? Or was it something even more mysterious, something ancient, perhaps from a civilization that existed long before humanity and still lingers in the shadows of the cosmos? The idea was terrifying. Something out there could observe, calculate, and respond to us in ways we barely understood. It was a reminder of our vulnerability, of how small and fragile humanity truly is, and yet how astonishing our ability to detect such subtle signs could be. The psychological effect on those watching Atlas in real time was profound. Imagine staring into the vastness of space and realizing that something out there was deliberately interacting with you, that your observations mattered, that someone or something was communicating. Some astronomers admitted sleepless nights, not from data overload, but from existential wonder. Were we alone? Were we being observed? Were we being tested? And if so, what was the purpose? Was this a warning, a message, or merely an introduction to a larger reality we could not yet comprehend? And yet, despite the fear, there was awe. Because in the chaos of the universe, something had demonstrated intelligence, patience, and precision at a scale unimaginable. Something that had waited, calculated, and acted on cosmic timescales. Humanity was witnessing, for perhaps the first time in history, a tangible sign of intelligence beyond our own. It was beautiful, terrifying, and humbling. Every detail, every tail flare, every spiral, every pulse was a story a code, a signal meant to provoke thought, wonder, and perhaps readiness. As the days passed, telescopes captured more data, and the mystery deepened. Atlas' tail, its plumes, its flares, all suggested the presence of mechanisms beyond natural physics. Was it a probe, a warning, or a message of patience, of observation, of testing humanity's curiosity, perception, and understanding? Each discovery forced a new set of questions, and yet no answers came immediately. Scientists and observers were caught between wonder and fear, between awe and uncertainty. One thing was clear: 3E Atlas was alive in its own way. Not biologically, not like anything on Earth, but in the sense that it observed, responded, and communicated with precision and intent. And that brings us to a chilling possibility. If this object is a probe, if it is controlled, intelligent, deliberate, and purposeful, then it raises a terrifying question. Are we ready? Are we capable of interpreting its message? Are we, as a species, prepared for the reality that someone, something, or some intelligence is out there, already speaking our language in a way we only now begin to perceive?